Alright, hello and welcome to Strengthjournal episode 17, and today we are training pull. We are starting with the king of back exercises, the weighted pull-up, and we are starting with one top set, using a heavier load for one set of 5 to 10 repetitions, and I got 8 reps here with 20 kg, which is really nice and is also a lifetime PR for myself, so very happy about that. And after that one top set, I'm doing 2 back off sets using 15 kg as a lighter load, and doing 2 sets of 5 to 10 repetitions as well, but the technique is a bit different. So on my top set, I'm using a bit of a faster tempo, and I'm not going into a full dead hang on most of the repetitions, so I'm staying in my active range, and that way I can get more reps and use a heavier load. And on the back off sets, I'm going to a full dead hang and using a more controlled tempo, and thereby I have to use less load while still getting a similar amount of repetition each set. I really enjoy training this way, so doing one top set using a heavier load or a more difficult progression, and then following it up with 2 or 3 back off sets using a lighter load, and going for either a more controlled tempo or more repetitions, etc. That way I can really see where my strength is at, and I can really push my limit on that first set, and then follow it up with back off sets, focusing on different training components compared to the first set. And it's also just a really fun way to train, because you can do at least one set where you can really use like a heavy load and just train with that, but you're still getting in enough quality repetitions and volume. After the weighted pull-up, I do one set of 5 grip pull-ups till failure, so I'm just doing one set and going all the way till I can't do any more repetition. Now that I'm done with vertical pulling, I'm continuing on with the front lever pull for 3 sets of 5 to 8 repetitions, and I'm using a advanced tug to tug progression to do the reps. This one is basically the equivalent to a straight arm pullover using either dumbbells or a cable station, and it will primarily target your lats as well as your core. This one is extremely tough, and if you can do like repetitions with your legs fully extended, so in a full front lever, you will probably have huge lats and will be overall pretty strong in pulling. This one is actually also pretty great for training your front lever, because you are training your straight arm strength, in this case in pulling, and you're building strength through a full range of motion while also building muscle in the relevant muscle groups. Now that my back is demolished, I'm continuing on with biceps, and I'm starting with dumbbell alternating bicep curls for 3 sets. With this one, I just focus on pushing close to failure, and I don't worry too much about my technique becoming a little bit sloppy towards the end of the set. So if my back starts to arch a little bit, I don't really care much about it. I just focus on pushing close to failure and staying within a reasonable technique. My biceps and my arms in general are a big weak point of mine, so in this training block I'm definitely focusing on getting in enough volume and enough intensity to make them grow. The second and last bicep exercise I did was the dumbbell concentration curl for 2 sets, and this one is probably like my favorite bicep exercise at the moment, because you can really just focus on pushing your biceps close to failure, and it's basically just elbow flexion. You're completely braced and you can just push your biceps to failure. When I'm doing this exercise, I try to lean to my side instead of bending forwards, and that way I can make the exercise more lengthened bias. This means that there will be more tension on the biceps when they are lengthened, so when they are stretched out, and there will be less tension on the biceps when they are fully contracted, so in the top position of the curl. That's just the way that I like to do them, and the training literature seems to favor exercises that put more tension on the muscle when it is fully lengthened instead of shortened. So I think this variation could potentially be a little bit better for hypertrophy, but I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it the other way, so bending more forward and making a more shortened bias. And we are finishing this workout with ring face pulls for 3 sets. And the face pull is great because it targets a lot of muscles at the same time. So it will strengthen your rotator cuff, it will build your rear delts and your side delts, and also your upper traps. So it's a pretty nice all-around shoulder exercise, and I think it's also beneficial for my training purposes and my training goals, because it will also help me with overhead positions that I'm doing quite a lot in my training. So it will help with handstands, handstand push-ups, pull-ups, chin-ups, etc. So that was my pull day, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time. Much love, and see you on level 100.